Consider it a great joy, my brothers, whenever you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But endurance must do its complete work so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. As you're going through trials, as you're going through testing, what God ultimately wants is growth. I remember when I was on campus here, I never forget when I was going through my knee injuries and Chris was talking about mountaintops and valleys, and he said grass never grows on a mountaintop. Grass always grows in the valleys. And one reason why I think FCA is so important is because now you get to have real life conversations. Winning covers up a lot of stuff. You can go out and win 35 straight games and you can have just some of the ugliest stuff going on in your program. But over here, you know, when you're not winning or you're not successful at the rate that you think you should be, it starts to reveal some stuff where you get a chance to really meet people where they are. You get a chance to really have conversations with athletes like, hey, you're more than this. Like, I know people are saying that you're not, but in Ephesians chapter 1, God says you're chosen. God says you're adopted, telling you who you truly are and what you mean to Him.
With our coaches study, we've talked a lot about being the light in the midst of darkness or a hard time. And you know, that's the reason why I wanted to get into this in the first place, is that this is my mission field. I think as Christians, sometimes we can buy into a lie of you need ministry to do ministry. No, like we're all in ministry together in whatever we do. Obviously, we've gone through a lot, but I've learned a lot, and I'm grateful for that. And most importantly, I've built relationships with a lot of great people. And I think that's, for me, what matters most in life is my relationship with God, my relationship with other people.
Not everything went as planned this year, and not everything is going to go your way in life. I feel like he basically was just telling me that I need to lean on him even more, and that we're going to get through these tough times together, and that the adversity is going to come, but we're going to get through that together, and we're going to grow from that. You know, you can't grow in life until you're tried.
I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what's next, but I do know that if I'm in the will of God, that I'll be okay, and that's all that matters. And that may not look like what I want it to look like. I hope it does, but it may not, and I have to be okay with that. And when I take my struggles and I take my anxiety and my unrest and I lay them at the foot of the cross and put my burdens on Jesus, it all goes away.
The Bible study was important for me because I feel like it's kind of like everything else that you do. The more that you do it, the more that you rep it out, the more consistent you are about it, the more you grow in it, the more you learn from it. I feel like it gave me an opportunity to just kind of like speak freely, like open dialogue. We get the lesson, we discuss the Bible, what it says, you know, the deeper meaning behind what it's saying, and then everybody kind of gets a chance to speak. And I feel like that was really important for me. You know, I need to learn more about the Bible and the history and everything like that.
Our coaches study has been incredibly insightful and helpful with Aaron and Chris. And just learning that like God is faithful no matter what's going on, and that He is trustworthy, and just blocking out the lies from the enemy. And so I'm grateful that we serve a faithful and trustworthy God who loves us unconditionally.
Ultimately, the Bible has so many truths in it that it's like an onion, like as you start to unpeel it, you get a chance to get to the core of who God is and ultimately who God has called us to be.
It's been a true blessing to have Aaron around. You know, this is a guy who has a family, and you know, he takes time out of his day every single day to come to our practices, to be around, to come to our games, and just to be there for the players and for the staff. And just, you know, Aaron does a phenomenal job of just building those relationships, and he has a unique way of being able to relate with the players because he played, and you know, he's just such an easy guy to talk to. But you know, what he does is so important. It's so special.
He was really good for me just because he gave me a different outlet. You know, being able to learn from him, do Bible study with him, that was good. And he can relate to us as players because he played sports in college, and you know, he's went through a lot in his life as well. So that was good for me.
Aaron has been a light and like a dark tunnel for me this year, because he always comes into the practice facility always happy, high-fiving guys, cheering on, helping at practice. And I feel like as things, no matter how bad things got, like he was always going to be positive and always there for us.
I honestly couldn't imagine going through a year like we've had without a guy like Aaron around, because Aaron's been that rock that's been there every single day and is the same person that always comes in with a smile. He's always uplifting and he's always encouraging, and it's just so important because the players see that, the coaches see that, they feel that. And without Aaron, you know, this season, as bad as it was, it could have been a lot worse. And Aaron did a phenomenal job of just teaching, building relationships, and just being that person that was there every single day to help us grow and to help us get through what we were going through.
Having people from FCA around lines up right with my purpose. We have the same purpose. We're to serve and be Christ-like and to love people in such a way that they'd be like, man, I want what he or she has. And so I view our players first and foremost as people and as children of God. And I want those players to come to discover their true purpose in life. It's not about, you know, the purpose isn't scoring points, winning games, all that. That's good. I love that. But I want them to discover what their true identity is. I want them to discover who really created them and why they're here and what their purpose is in life. And so inviting FCA or having a study with players, with coaches, that adds to that. That's, why wouldn't we?
Coach McKee, he said, hey man, I asked him how he was doing, and he said, I gotta be all right. And I said, yeah. And he said, hey, God will never put more on you than you can bear. And I said, you know, actually, yes, he will. You know, yes, he will. And Coach Ross looked at me and he was like, what? And I said, yeah, if we could bear it, then we wouldn't need him. I think a lot of times we miss that. Like, God will intentionally put us in some tough spots, ultimately so that when we hit rock bottom, we can discover he's the rock at the bottom.